Hello, folks. Welcome to my County Commissioner periodic report to the folks of District 3 in Grafton County. My name is Omer Ahern Jr. and I am the District 3 Grafton County Commissioner. District 3 goes from in the north the towns of Rumney and Warren and Dorchester and Groton, over to Canaan and Grafton and down to Alexandria, Bristol, Ashland, and of course Holderness, Plymouth, and Hebron, as well as the towns of Bristol and Campton, Wentworth, and Rumney, among others. There's about 15 towns in District 3. Again, I'm Omer Ahern Jr. I serve with two other county commissioners. From District 1 is County Commissioner Wendy Piper. District 1 is the towns of Hanover and the city of Lebanon and Enfield. And she is the clerk of the Grafton County Commissioners. And from District 2, which is the north and western towns of Grafton County, and that is Commissioner Linda Lauer. And Commissioner Lauer serves as the chairman of the Grafton County Board of Commissioners. And again, as I've said in the past, the Grafton County Commissioners are responsible for the operation and the management, overall management of the 135-bed Grafton County Nursing Home, a skilled facility for the elderly and Medicaid, Medicare, and private pay residents. We also are responsible for the operation and the management of the 150-bed Grafton County Department of Corrections, which houses the County House of Correction and also the County Jail. County Jail is where folks that have been charged with crimes are held pre-trial if they can't post bail. And the House of Correction is for those folks who have been convicted of a crime and have been sentenced to jail for a year and a day or less. Anyone sentenced to more than a year and a day would be serving their time down at the state's prison, either in Concord or up in Berlin, New Hampshire. Additionally, in Grafton County, we also have a very outstanding farm operation, vegetables, and an award-winning dairy herd. Just got news last week that we won another series of awards for having one of the best dairy herds in the United States of America. Small herd size, under 100 cows. We also have about 700 acres of woodlands that we actively manage to raise revenue for the county through periodic timber cuts. Today, the first thing I want to mention, though, is today is May 30th. It is the traditional Memorial Day. Although the country, passed a law, the federal government passed a law that Memorial Day would be the Monday 2 days ago. But today, traditionally, May 30th is our traditional Memorial Day. And I would just like us all to take a minute and say a prayer, thanking God for those who are willing to give their lives so that we here in Grafton County, the state of New Hampshire, the United States of America, may enjoy all the freedoms that we have today. And after all, that is what Memorial Day is all about. And again, today is the traditional Memorial Day. Before that, this day was called Decoration Day. This was the day after the Civil War when families and the Civil War veterans who survived the Civil War would go to the cemeteries and place flowers and suitable decorations on the graves of their brothers and sons that lost their lives during the Civil War. So again, let's take a moment to remember the men and women who have served our country so bravely and given the last full measure of their devotion. we remember them, and we honor them. Well, the big issue at Grafton County right now is the budget, the fiscal year 2019 proposed budget. And the commissioners, on a 2-to-1 vote, presented a budget to the Grafton County delegation a week or so ago for a number of reasons, policy reasons, philosophical reasons. I voted against the commissioner's budget. I did take an active part in the discussion with the various department requests for funding, and I certainly have some thoughts and some ideas that I expressed on where the county could cut responsibly the budget instead of having increases. But as you'll see, the budget does have several increases, and I'll be talking about those things. The biggest increase, of course, was the health insurance, and we'll be talking about that. So the commissioner's budget, and I'll tell you what those numbers are in a moment, but on the 22nd of May, just a week or so ago, the Grafton County delegation met to set the salaries for the elected officials who will be elected in November. Their salaries as of January 1st, 2019, they increased the salaries of the elected officials, the sheriff, the register of deeds, the county attorney, the county commissioners. So already the commissioner's budget, or the Grafton County budget, even before it's been voted upon and considered by the delegation, which is the body that needs to approve the budget for Grafton County. All the commissioners can do is provide and propose a budget, but it has to be voted upon and approved by the county delegation. And again, the county delegation is made up of all of the elected state representatives from within the towns and cities of Grafton County. And here locally in the Plymouth area, the 3 representatives for Grafton 8, which is Holderness, Plymouth, and Hebron, is Representative Steve Rand, Representative Travis Bennett, and Representative Suzanne Smith. From the town of Campton, it's Representative Tiffany Johnson, and from the area that includes the town of Rumney, it's Representative Mays, Kevin Mays, from Rumney. Also locally, it's Representative Dwayne Brown, Representative David Binford, and Representative Vicky Schwegler, Representative Steve Darrow, and Representative Bob Hall, and a new representative who was just elected in a special election a few months ago, Representative Vincent Migliori. So I'm going to talk with you a little bit about the highlights of the proposed budget for 2019 for the fiscal year 2019. On the revenue side of the budget, we are going to see a 0.55% reduction in the revenues for Grafton County. The largest reduction in revenue is the alternative sentencing program, and also the Department of Corrections. We're looking at a major reduction there, about 10.15%. Alternative sentencing has a 73.46% reduction in their revenue, and partly that is because the state of New Hampshire, as of the 1st of July, will be taking over the drug court part of the Grafton County alternative sentencing. The state, we believe, is in a better position to handle the drug court aspects than Grafton County can, and that will mean there's a little bit more of a burden, less of a burden on the Grafton County taxpayers for having that program taken over by the state of New Hampshire. So there is going to be a little bit of a surplus, believe it or not, of $20,000, which will be, no, actually $1,050,000, the surplus used to reduce taxes. That represents a 1.94% increase in that amount of money to reduce taxes, and yet we're still going to be looking at an overall tax rate in Grafton County. And again, that's going to vary from town to town based upon what the DRA does in determining what your tax rate is after taking a look at the value of all your property, what your town tax or your city tax is going to be, municipal taxes, what the school tax is going to be, and then what the state real estate tax is going to be. So we're looking at an overall 4.67% increase in the county taxes. The main revenue sources are from the nursing home and a little bit, and then from the county taxes. And we'll tell you what the county tax is going to be. You're going to be looking at. So the revenue highlights. Alternative sentencing shows a reduction of 73.46% in revenue. In fiscal year 2019, the county will no longer have a contract with the state of New Hampshire to administer drug court. The county has decided to let the state award this contract to a treatment agency within the county. Grafton County Drug Treatment Court will still exist, but it will no longer be run through the county budget, thus reducing the revenue by $290,000. If you go online and look at the proposed budget, you will notice later there is also no longer any expenses associated with the drug court. Number two, there is a projected increase in interest income for fiscal year 2019. Interest rates have increased slightly, and the county is yielding better returns on our investments. Most of the investments are the amount of money that we get in taxes, and since we're not using all of that money in one fell swoop, we can invest it, and then as we need it, we withdraw it from those investment accounts. Number three, there's also a slight increase in rent as we have negotiated a new lease with the state of New Hampshire for the space in the courthouse. We've also negotiated an increase in the amount of money that the state pays to use the county courthouse parking lot for the motorcycle licensing course that they provide up in that part of New Hampshire. Other revenue highlights, there is a slight increase in the projected revenue for the nursing home in fiscal year 2019 because of the reimbursement rate for Medicaid patients. Medicaid, another name for Medicaid is state welfare. And we have a lot of residents in our nursing home that don't have the money to pay the $10,000 to $11,000 a month for nursing care in our nursing home. And so we provide that care, and the taxpayers through the Medicaid program provide that. We also have Medicare residents. We also have a lot of private pay people there. The average, at this point in time, the average length of time that a resident comes and stays and lives in our nursing home is about 18 months. About 18 months. Overall, the revenue shows an overall decrease of 0.55% due primarily to the drug court changes. And there should be this little pie chart on the county website so you can see how the pie chart breaks these things down. There's some other sheets on other parts, other comparisons. In terms of expenses, this is where it gets a little bit scary. The total increase in expenses for county government in the fiscal year 2019 is $1,180,758, or an increase of 2.75% increased spending. The biggest driver of the increase in the expenses is the health insurance. The county, in January of this year, the county commissioners received a 41.69% not to exceed increase for the current coverage through New Hampshire Interlocal Trust for the health insurance that we provide to the employees that receive health insurance. And the county also provides health insurance for a number of retirees, county retirees. We received proposals from several other health insurance providers and looked at different options through our current provider, the New Hampshire Interlocal Trust. The Commissioners, on a 2-to-1 vote, have decided to accept a proposal from Health Trust for health insurance for employees during fiscal year 2019. So Health Trust will be providing the health insurance for Grafton County this year. The total health insurance premium will increase 13.74%, or $524,405. That's an increase over what we paid last year. 1.5% will be the cost of living adjustment for all employees, including the nursing home bargaining unit. So that's another increase in expenses. Some additional expense highlights. There are no new positions included in this budget. The county attorney's office has a couple of part-time positions that are going to become full-time positions, but there were, I think, 7 new positions requested in the commissioner's office, 1 position. County attorney had some other requests for positions, and a few other departments, nursing home. But other than giving the county attorney 2 full-time positions from part-time positions, there are no new positions in this budget. Another expense highlight, the county will no longer contract with the state of New Hampshire, as I've said before, to administer drug court. So beginning on July 1st, 2018, the state will contract with a treatment provider to administer the Grafton County Drug Treatment Court. There are 3 or 4 entities that are looking to take on that management program, but the state of New Hampshire will be making that decision. The drug court work will still be centered in Grafton County at our North Haverhill county complex, with some satellite offices in Plymouth, Littleton, and Lebanon. The drug court treatment team will all remain the same, with the exception that the coordinator and case manager will not be county employees. The coordinator and the case manager will not be county employees. So therefore, this budget shows a reduction in the revenue of $290,000 and a reduction in the expenses of $366,886. The state has, as I said, has not determined which agency will be taking over that administrative duty yet. There will be a transfer to the capital reserve account, $40,000 to the nursing home capital revenue, and $30,000 to the dispatch capital reserve. So that's another highlight. So recapping the budget, revenue projections, a 0.55% decrease in overall county revenues, a 2.75% increase in the expense projections, expense projections, 2.75% increase for the fiscal year 2019, which begins July 1st of 2018. So we're looking at an increase in the amount to be raised by taxes of 4.67%. And that, to me, is disturbing. So that is a quick overview of the county budget. Again, if you have any questions about the budget, you can go online and take a look at the figures. Go to the Grafton County, New Hampshire website, and you should be able to find out a lot of information there. Right now, some of the other things that are going on at the county complex, we are in the process of putting in the new forced sewer line that serves the county complex. A lot of that sewer line, we determined a couple of years ago, had rusted out in many sections. So we are now putting in a new sewer line, phasing in the payment for that over 2 years in the budget. So this existing budget, the 2018 fiscal year, had about $140,000 for that. And then in this fiscal year 2019, which will begin July 1st, we will be putting in the rest of the money, but the actual construction is now ongoing. They started the work about 2 weeks ago, about a week behind schedule, and hopefully they're going to be able to finish it on time. The other thing that's going to be happening on June 23rd will be the open farm and the open barn day, where we're going to be letting the folks of Grafton County come and see what a great job is being done at our farm and woodlands operations, and see our award-winning dairy herd. And you'll get to see the cows, and you can get wagon rides up into the woodlands part of the county farm and see the greenhouse that we have there, where the cooperative extension folks have been doing some ongoing studies on tomatoes and other types of vegetables for the benefit of the entire state of New Hampshire. The nursing home census has been a little bit low. That is creating some problems for our revenue for the nursing home. We're trying to address that. Our census in the House of Correction, again, that's a 150-bed facility, and our census has been somewhere around 88 residents residents of the Department of Corrections. In the old days, we used to call them the inmates. And it varies from week to week, we'll have as many as 5, up to as many as 10 female inmates from Coos County. That we have an agreement with Coos County that they pay us a certain amount per day per female inmate, female resident of the Department of Corrections. So we're helping Grafton County out on that. Helping Coos County out on that. We also have a little contract or agreement with Belknap County during the motorcycle week, where they expect to have some extra use of their correctional facilities during motorcycle week. So we're going to take some of their inmates from down there in Belknap County and Laconia, and we'll temporarily house them at our facility to help our compatriots down there in Belknap County. That's about it for now. I hope on June 23rd, beginning at 10 o'clock and going until 2 o'clock, we'll see you at the county complex up there in North Haverhill on the Daniel Webster Highway. So you can come in and see what's going on at our open barn, open Farm and Forest Day. It's our own Grafton County Farm and Forest Day, but the dairy barn will also be open. Again, if you have any questions of me, please contact me. My phone number in Wentworth, New Hampshire is 764-6024. Again, 764-6024. My email address is omer.ahern.jr@gmail.com. That's omer.ahern.jr, the @ gmail.com, omer.ahern.jr@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I hope that you get a chance to review the budget online at the Grafton County, New Hampshire website, and take a look at the numbers, take a look at the spending, and if you have any questions or concerns, get a hold of your state representative. Talk with them, because they're going to be working on this budget during the month of June. The budget needs to be in place before July 1st, and they have a month or so after that of grace time. But if you have any concerns about the budget is now in the hands of the Grafton County delegation members, and they're the ones that are going to vote to approve it. And they've already added, as I said, $3,920 to the budget, which is, already an increase in the commissioner's budget that passed 2-1. If you want to talk with me about my reasons for not voting for the commissioner's budget, I'd be glad to talk with you about that. Other than that, again, remember our veterans, the men and women that served our country and gave the last full measure of their devotion on this day. May 30th, the traditional Memorial Day. And I thank you, and have a good rest of the week. Thank you.